Good morning and welcome back to Questioning Sense with me, Matt. Beautiful day yet again, and I'm still wearing this hat. So, we are still in lockdown, but actually feeling quite chirpy today. I had to do a shop run this morning, which I don't particularly like doing, because obviously there's lots of idiots out and about, and I've tried to keep as distant as I can. So we've been really lucky. We've been managing to get bulk of our groceries and stuff like that delivered, which has been fantastic. The supermarkets have really stepped up around here. We've managed to get slots and stuff like that, so that's really good. But certain things I like to try and use my local stores as much as possible just to keep them going. So, you know, if it's wine, beers, vape juice and stuff like that, I tend to get them from the local shops. And when I go to the local shops, obviously, you know, you're going out there, you've got to be aware of what's going on around you. I like to wear something quite powerful, quite strong to keep me in check. And today I wore this, which is Knize Ten Toilet Wasser. 100 years old, this perfume is 100 years old, and it's absolutely stunning. And another reason I'm in such a good mood today is my local pub, the Earl Ferrers in Streatham, does a pub quiz. So a couple of the very talented locals there put together a really good quiz, and we always meet up on Zoom. I think last Thursday night, there's about 80 of us, 85 people took part in it. So it's really good fun, and I thoroughly enjoy it. It takes a couple of hours and we all have a good laugh. Sadly, my wife's been working while the quiz has been going on, so it's just been me and the boy. But we're not winning by any means, but we're doing all right. We're getting through it, and it's good fun. So when all this madness is over, if you're ever in South London and you fancy a pint and some beautiful food, head down to the Earl Ferrers in Streatham. Real community pub, and it's been an absolute godsend to everybody that lives in South London near me that knows the pub. Really good fun. Anywho, enough waffle, let's talk about this. Now, I did do a review a little while ago. Me and Rich did a sort of a cheeky take on smelling like a Peaky Blinder, and we featured this in it. But I'll be honest with you, this is such an important perfume. I think it needs its own review. So if you have seen the review before, it's going to be very similar to a degree, but I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth about this perfume and how it works. So as I say, it comes from Austria. It comes from a tailor's in Vienna. And as I say, it's 100 years old. So really classic smelling. It's often described as probably the best leather, or certainly one of the best leathers in perfumery. And I think I kind of agree with that, but I also think it's a little bit more than that. There's a ton of notes. I'm going to list them all now for you so you can see what goes in this, because it's a lot more than just leather. Now, for the purposes of the review, I'm using the latest version available. This is a little 30ml bottle I bought for 22 quid. One of the best bargains I've ever had in perfumery. This is a beautiful fragrance and it's very affordable. The other thing is, because this is the latest version of it, I've never smelt the original, but what I did do when I was researching this video is read lots of opinion on it. And this is a very unique beast. I think it's the only perfume that I've read about where people are saying that the more modern formulation is actually better than the original. And as we know, normally when a perfume gets reformulated, it starts to, the quality and the love for the perfume seems to nosedive. But with this, it doesn't seem to be the case at all. I think the original one, from what I can read, and obviously this is my opinion on other people's opinions, I've never smelt it, they said it was too oily, it was too thick, it was too dark, and this has obviously still got a little bit of that there, as you'll see, especially when I read out the notes. But it's a lot lighter, it's a lot more wearable, apparently. But as I say, I don't know because I've not tried it, but I do like this one. Okay, so here we have the notes. At the top, we have petitgram, you have orange, you have lemon, you have rosemary, and you have bergamot. So a lot of citruses going on there. And then in the middle, you have cedar, you have patchouli, you have sandalwood, you have rose, you have iris, carnation, cinnamon, and clove. And then on the base, you have leather, castor oil, ambergris, musk, and moss. Now, the first thing you notice when you spray this is it fills up the room. The sillage, the projection is massive. It's a very long-lasting perfume. I'm wearing it at the moment, and just for the purposes of the review, I'll give it another spray now. When it sprays, though, good grief, it's a bit like in the world of like Beaufort's Iron Duke. It just, it really opens up, and it's very it's all over the place. There's so much going on, vying for your attention in terms of notes. The citruses are bang. Rosemary's there, the bergamot, and I love bergamot, and you do pick it out. But it seems to it's one of these perfumes where when you spray it, the top, the middle, and the bottom all make themselves known. Certainly the citrics are more noticeable in the first sort of hour or so. But the castor oil, the leather, the sandalwood, the patchouli, the cedar, everything seems to hit at once. You get a big kaboom, and it's almost like a floral, leathery citrus with smoke. That smoke isn't too smoky. It does smell very much like an old school cologne. You've got to understand that. If you were like a 20-year-old young thruster enjoying your perfume, running around there wearing Bleu de Chanel or Sauvage and, you know, loving every minute of it, I don't think this is going to be for you. If you're like me in your late 30s and you are, you know, my fragrance journey, I know it's a cliched term, but seems to be taking me away from that kind of Sauvage type things. I mean, I've never really been a massive fan of those. I mean, they have their place, I do like them, but I do find myself being more drawn to more classic fragrances, especially now I'm in my early 40s. Not late 30s. So to me, this has a real strong appeal. It gives me, I don't know, it's a lovely sense. And I do like the historical aspects of this, because it does kind of, you know, with my perfume interest, it does kind of widen my knowledge and sort of takes me back to another era where maybe perfume was completely different. And I like that, you know, I like 4711 and I like all these older classics as well. So if you're, I mean, the point I'm trying to make basically is if you're a young thruster, you're probably not going to love this. I think it's incredibly masculine. But again, as I've said countless times, I'm sorry I'm, you know, talking the same talk again. I think a strong, confident woman would absolutely smell divine on this, because it's a very interesting perfume. It really, really draws you in. Performance-wise, it's fabulous. When you wear it, you are aware of this kind of floral, citrus, leathery smokiness, and it is quite divine. It's very, very intoxicating, and one that you know you keep smelling your wrist, although you don't need to bring it up because you can smell it from here. It's pretty strong stuff. As it dries down, the citruses kind of dry off, the florals are less sharp, and the leather is more celebrated. And this is, you know, someone described it as the back seat of a Bentley, and I kind of, not that I've been in many, but I kind of get that. It's a very classic leather, and it's almost suede-like. It's quite soft, it's beautiful, it's not sharp, it's not rasping or anything like that. You know, you can run your hand along this leather and it will feel wonderful to the touch, is basically what I'm trying to say. The smokiness is still there, but it kind of turns a little almost powdery, which I know some people don't particularly like powdery perfumes, but it does have a slight powderiness to it, which I really, really like. I think the ambergris and the musk and the moss just smooth everything out and give it some class. And this is a really, really classy fragrance. I would not hesitate to wear this if I was going out in a suit. I think it would be perfect for that. In the same respect, I've worn this to the pub on numerous occasions. Not that we're going to the pub very much at the moment, although I will be wearing it for my pub quiz this evening. So if this video goes out before the pub quiz this evening, that's exactly what I'm going to be wearing, with my son sitting here as we compete against the greatest minds in South London. I will be smelling of this wonderful fragrance. So there you go. I think in terms of value, this comes in a 30, I think a 30, a 70 and a 100ml bottle, which can be had for a really, really good price. I think, as I say, I paid £20 or maybe a little bit less for the 30ml bottle. Now, I should probably have got a bigger bottle, but I mean, I'm lucky. I've got lots and lots and lots and lots of perfume, so I'm, you know, this is in a rotation. This could easily be worn a lot more. If I was still at work, you know, this is one that you could easily wear for work all day, every day, because A, it will get you through your working day, B, you'll smell great, and C, it's interesting, and the chances are you won't meet anybody else that's wearing it, because it is such a, I mean, it's 100 years old. That just blows me away. And it's still in production, and it's still popular, and it's still doing well. So, you know, I really, really recommend this one. I think you should give it a go. It's going to be, I'll tell you who do have it. Les Senteurs in London do actually have this. So you'll be able to get samples from them, because I know they do samples. So you can probably get a 2ml sample from Les Senteurs and, you know, see what you think. I recommended it. I sent, when I got the sample, I wore the sample, loved it, sent the sample up to Rich, and I don't think Rich actually got on with it that well. I think he thought he appreciated it, thought it was a nice perfume, but maybe it's a little bit too dated for him. Rich and me kind of tastes slightly differ when it comes to sort of more older style perfumes. So I don't think Rich actually got a bottle, but I certainly did, and I will always have a bottle. It's one that I think in the winter will be, well, I know in the winter this is an absolute blast. In the summer it's probably not at its optimum time to wear. It's a colder weather leaning fragrance, but in the evening it's fine. I mean, I've worn it out today and it didn't become cloying or anything like that, but I can understand that other people might not like wearing it when it's hot, and it is quite hot today. So there you have it. A perfect leathery vintage experience in a modern bottle with very, very modern sort of aspects to it. Performs like an old fragrance, so it's, you know, you've got lots of life there. It's got plenty of legs, goes on all day, no issues there whatsoever. So give it a go. Anyhow, how are you all doing? We're okay, we're doing well. Getting through this as best we can, trying to look forward to little things and stuff and have some fun and just make the most of it. Apart from that, we're doing okay. We hope you are. We really, really do hope you guys are doing all right. Please, please, please message us with questions or opinion, or if you just want to chat, let us know. Hit us up on Instagram. Every day I spend a lot of time doing it as well. It drives my wife mad, but I spend a lot of time taking photos of my perfume bottles and then I put them on our Instagram page. So if you're not following that, have a look, because I mean I change my perfume quite often in a day. So my scent of the day, I will be wearing it at some point, but generally I will wear 2, maybe 3 different perfumes in a day, because I've got loads of perfumes to get through and I like changing it up. But I will always post a perfume that I've worn at least once in that day, and I spend quite a lot of time trying to get a nice photo of it up and stuff like that. So follow us on Instagram. It's another bit of distraction, and obviously, you know, keep having a chat with the videos. And, you know, as I keep saying, if there's anything that you want me to review, if I've got it, I'll review it, and me and Rich will get the video up for you. Listen, as always, your time is precious and we really appreciate you spending it with us. Thank you very much, and we will see you very soon on the next video. Now, I meant to do today the green fragrance comparisons, but there's quite a lot going on at the moment, so I just haven't had the time to put that together, because that video needs quite a lot of research done. So as soon as I've got all the research done, then we will try and do a live, not live, but a kind of a spraying, so we can go through it all at the same time kind of thing. Anyway, we will see you soon. Take care, cheers, stay safe, stay sane, and bye!